Leadership is not about being in charge, it's about taking care of those in our charge. A leader's role is to create a circle of safety, a space where people feel trusted and can work together to face the dangers outside. When leadership fails, that circle breaks. The very people meant to protect us become the source of our stress and our fear. We start looking out for ourselves instead of looking out for each other. This is not a failure of the team, it is a failure of the environment, and the environment is the leader's responsibility. Think about the best team you were ever on. It could have been in sports, it could have been at school, it could have been in a past job. What made it great? Chances are you felt like you belonged. You felt safe to admit you made a mistake. You felt safe to ask for help when you were struggling. A failing leader does the opposite. They create an environment where we feel we must protect ourselves. When leaders fail, the consequences ripple outward, touching everything and everyone. Projects stall, not because of a lack of skill, but because of a lack of trust. Innovation dies because people are too afraid to share a new idea that might fail. The best people, the ones who want to contribute and make a difference, eventually leave. They don't leave the company, they leave their boss. They go in search of a place where they feel valued. They go in search of a place where they feel they can be part of something bigger than themselves. The cost is immense, measured in lost potential and human spirit. So, how do we know when we are in the shadow of failing leadership? It is not always obvious. More often it is a quiet erosion of trust. A leader's primary job is to point to a destination on the horizon and say, that is where we are going. This is vision, it is the why behind our work. A failing leader has no clear destination. They might talk about quarterly numbers or hitting targets, but they cannot articulate a just cause or a compelling vision of the future that inspires us to come to work. Without a why, our work becomes a series of disconnected tasks. We show up, we do our job, but we feel no connection to the outcome. We are simply cogs in a machine with no clear purpose. This lack of vision is almost always paired with its close cousin, poor communication. When a leader cannot explain where we are going, they certainly cannot explain how we will get there. Communication becomes vague, inconsistent, or worse, non-existent. We receive instructions in confusing emails. We sit through meetings where nothing of substance is decided. Important information is withheld, creating an atmosphere of rumor and speculation. This is not how trust is built, it is how it is destroyed. Think of a captain of a ship who never tells the crew their destination. One day they shout, "Turn the rudder left!" The next, "Hoist the sails!" The crew does the work, but they are confused, anxious. They don't know if they are sailing toward a tropical paradise or a dangerous storm. This is what it feels like to work for a leader without a clear vision who communicates poorly. We expend our energy on tasks, but we have no idea if our efforts are moving us in the right direction. We lose faith in the captain and eventually in the journey itself. Great leaders have a strong sense of who they are. They understand their strengths, but more importantly, they are aware of their weaknesses. This is self-awareness. A failing leader lacks this internal compass. They are often blind to how their own behavior impacts the team. So what do we do? What is our responsibility when we recognize these signs in our own boss? The first step is not to panic or react with anger. The first step is to protect ourselves. This means managing your own performance and your own state of mind. Document everything, praise your teammates publicly, build strong relationships with your peers. Create your own small circle of safety with the colleagues you trust. Manage up with care and courage. Seek clarity, paraphrase instructions back to ensure alignment. So, just to make sure I'm on the right track, the priority for this week is X, correct? Sometimes this prompts self-reflection, but we must be realistic. We cannot fix another person. If the leader shows a profound lack of self-awareness or a lack of integrity, managing up may be futile or risky. This is when you must make a choice for yourself. There is no shame in choosing to leave a toxic environment. Whether you stay or go, model the behavior you want to see. The world has enough bosses. What it needs are more leaders, and that leadership can start with you right where you are today.